Greetings from Johannesburg, South Africa. You know, it's summertime here. I know it's winter in the U.S., but we're having some pretty warm weather here. But I want to just take a few minutes and share with you some of the things that we're teaching here. We're teaching on being led by the Spirit, and we know that 2019 is the year of the Holy Spirit. But every year, you know, we need to be led by the Spirit, but we're really teaching on being led by the Spirit. And if we're led by the Spirit, we're going to treat people right. And I want to read you a verse in John 16, verse 8, where it says, when he is come, that's the Holy Spirit, he will convict the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. So we need to understand that the ministry of the Holy Spirit is not to condemn you, it's to convict us. And the word convict just simply means to convince you of error. But condemnation means complete disapproval, criticize someone strongly, or guilt and shame. Well, that's not the ministry of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will convict us. He'll reveal to us or expose error in our lives, but he doesn't bring guilt and shame on our lives. And then you might think, well, why do I feel guilt and shame? Well, that's your heart, your spirit condemning you. 1 John 3, verse 20 says that it's our heart that condemns us. So when you feel condemnation, when you feel the guilt and shame, that's not the ministry of the Holy Spirit. That's your spirit dealing with you about getting the sin out of your life. But, you know, we need to understand that we don't want to treat people the way we treat ourselves. You might be hard on yourself and you might feel that guilt and shame, but we don't want that guilt and shame. We don't want to bring it on other people because that's not the ministry of the Holy Spirit. That's your spirit convicting you. And so you can be hard on yourself, but we don't want to be hard on other people. We want to be led by the Spirit. You think about the ministry of Jesus. Do you remember John 3:16? You can all quote it. But verse 17, it says that God sent Jesus into the world not to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. And also in John chapter 8, do you remember the woman that was caught in adultery? You know, these guys wanted to stone her. And they brought her to Jesus, and she was obviously caught in the act. She was either completely unclothed or wrapped in a sheet, and they were condemning her, guilt and shame. They were pronouncing a judgment on her. But isn't it amazing that Jesus became her advocate? He said, "He that's without sin among you, you first cast a stone." And he went down and wrote in the sand, and he looked up, and everybody was gone but the woman. And he said, "Where are your accusers? Has no man condemned you?" And she said, "No man, Lord." He says, "I don't condemn you either. Go and sin no more." In other words, you need to change your lifestyle. It's not acceptable, but I'm not here to condemn you. I mean, that's amazing, but that's the ministry of Jesus. He doesn't condemn us, and the Holy Spirit doesn't either. So if we're led by the Spirit, we're not going to be condemning people. We're not going to put condemnation on people. We're not going to pronounce, a sentence on somebody to make them feel guilty and full of shame. You know, Jesus said in Matthew 7, he says, before you judge somebody, deal with the plank that is in your eye, and then you'll be able to flick the specks out of other people's eyes. And the word plank here is a long, flat piece of timber used for building and flooring. So Jesus is saying, before you want to deal with the sins and get condemnation on other people, you know, get the telephone pole or the plank. Remember, Captain Hook made Peter Pan walk the plank. Get that plank out of your eye, and then Jesus said you can see clearly that you can deal with the specks that's in other people's eyes. So anyway, that's what we're teaching here. And I just think about, you know, if I'm being led by the Spirit, I'm not judging anybody. If I'm being led by the Spirit, I'm not condemning people. I'm not looking down at them. You know, I might deal with myself harshly, you know, because I feel that guilt and condemnation. But God is saying, don't, you know, transfer that guilt and shame that you're feeling on other people, because again, that's just your spirit dealing with you. But we're dealing with other people. Let's do it with compassion. Let's do it with mercy, and let the Holy Spirit begin to convict them and show them the error that's in their life. Remember, He's our comforter. He's not our condemner. So that's, you know, what has helped me in dealing with people. When I see the sin in other people's lives, I got to remember, you know, I got to deal with the plank that's in my eye. So anyway, I hope that helps you. You know, things are going very well here. We're having great services. We're just right on the brink, I just sense in my spirit, of revival. And I was talking to my wife, and there's churches in North Louisiana that are also experiencing we're on the brink of revival. So hang in there, be faithful, be prayed up, be full of the word, bring your capacity to the church. Don't just think the church is going to give you something. Bring your capacity and watch God move. So anyway, I just want to remind you, our vertical conference is coming up August the 1st through the 4th. And we're going to have some amazing meetings. It's in Minden, Louisiana, Living Word Minden. We want to invite you to come. Invite some friends to come. We have an amazing lineup, so we want to encourage you to come. We're going to be teaching on the Holy Spirit and being led by the Spirit, and then let the Holy Spirit move. Broken hearts are going to be healed. People are going to be healed of their emotional issues, physical healing. We're just going to see breakthrough. So I want to encourage you to come and invite somebody. God bless you. We will talk soon.